Ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes, welcome back to Inspire for Real / Always on the Move YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about something very dear and near to me, and that's turning rage into peace, calming down, quelling yourself, taking a step back, which is very hard to do, especially if you're like moi and have a little trouble managing your anger. Now, we've already gone over tips for managing anger in the previous episode. However, this is more, what I'm going to go cover today is a little bit more in depth and a little bit more, I feel like, practical. And I want to impart in that more practicality and things that you can do to you guys, to those of you who actually watch my content and listen and take it in. And if you like what I'm doing so thus far, be sure to hit that, hit the like, subscribe button, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of December. So thank you so much. Those of you who already subscribed, those of you who like the content, share, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon for more daily notifications on all things Inspire for Real and Always on the Move. Now, I'm just going to get into it real quick. Number one is, the first tip I have, number one, is throw or break something. Sometimes you have a lot of built up frustration, right? And you can't let it out physically like you might want to by maybe hitting yourself or hitting somebody else. Now, I'll be fully transparent. I've done that myself. I've hit myself or hit a wall to prevent hitting, let's say, another human being, or hitting myself, or things getting even crazier or more out of hand. So number one, again, throw or break something, take something from wherever it is, something that you maybe throw a pillow or hit a pillow, beat up on a pillow. It's really good to do something maybe like take up boxing or MMA or kickboxing or some sort of like something where you could take out your frustration and your anger, an outlet, so that it doesn't really build up, which we talked before in the previous video. But I want to get, like I said, give you a little bit more examples, because I've been looking more into it, and I'm seeing the comments, I'm reading them always. So I know you guys want me to go more into the anger and the rage, because some of us just have this rage inside of us, and sometimes we overreact in situations, and it's because we let that rage fester. We don't deal with it properly when it first arises. And it just builds up and builds up and builds up. So definitely throwing something, breaking something to kind of relieve the tension, kind of let that out a little bit, so you can kind of continue and go forward into what you need to do, and to regain and regather your senses and yourself. Number two, is scream. Just let out a scream. Scream into a pillow. Just scream out loud if you have to. Like, go ahead, do it. Ah! Just like that, just scream. Scream at the top of your lungs. Ah! Whatever you got to do, let it out. See, I'm letting it out. I'm being a fool over here, but I'm letting it out for you guys to see as an example of practically what you can do. Number three, a journal where you write down exactly how you're feeling at the moment you're feeling it, when you're feeling it, who it's directed to, why maybe you might think that you feel that way, or what you think should have been done differently, or what you think you can do differently in the future. Any questions you might have for yourself. It's a good time to also self-reflect. But definitely getting a journal going, screaming, throwing or breaking something, all really good things to kind of take that rage and it's festering. But you have to step aside. You have to have that discipline has to be worked on, so that you can sit back and when you're in the moment and you're like, okay, no, I'm not gonna. No, you know what? Let me not. Instead of going crazy here and having an episode, let me just do this. Let me try this. Try them out. If you gotta find what works for you. Try next time you have this built up rage, try throwing or something, breaking something. Or try screaming. Or try the journaling. Number four that I really, really enjoy, that I do think helps, is peaceful music or reading. Not rage-filled, crazy, like death metal music. or crazy hip hop talking about killing, beating people up, or selling drugs, but like and making getting money, all that stuff. Peaceful music or reading, something that puts you in a relaxed state, that kind of switches that little trigger in your brain to go from being upset to like, oh, I'm in a good mood. I'm okay. Okay, I'm in a better mood now. I can process and internalize better and think a little bit more logically now that I've calmed down. So definitely peaceful music or reading. Reading a book, like I've said it before, it makes your brain think, focus on something different. Same with music. When you listen to music, you're focused on the lyrics. So, you start focusing on how the music sounds, how maybe it makes your body move. So again, it gives your brain something to stop for a second, refocus, focus on something else, and not what is either making you angry and building that rage, or the rage itself, or any negative thoughts. Number five is to foster that energy and maybe put it into something like this, like a YouTube channel, a podcast, doing research for those things. Um, that's what's helped me a lot, especially as of late. And I'm not really thinking about anything else going on in my life right now. When I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And I'm taking any energy that I have and I'm using it, I'm harvesting it, I'm using it for this, to put this content out to you guys. I'm using it to utilize my brain power and my physical body, and I'm putting this out there, and I'm taking everything that's in my head, all the research I've done, everything I've written down, and I'm putting it into this. So any rage I've had, like I have a headache right now. I had a migraine earlier today, but in doing this, again, I'm not as focused on it. I'm more focused on, okay, how do I how do I get up, do what I need to do, bring this content to you guys, and move forward. Again, it's similar to how you can use the fostering the energy. It's similar to, I don't know how many of you out there have looked into this or done the research, but it's similar to how you, like, people, especially like in sports or performance, they built up their sexual energy to be better and to be more productive. It's debated all the time whether or not that's a good strategy. I believe it is. You built up that sexual energy, that frustration or anger or frustration of any kind. You bottle that energy up, and then you can put it out there it allows you to be a little bit more aggressive, and to, I don't know, there's just another intensity. There's another intensity when you build up energy, and you have built up tension, like, and you release it in a form. It's pretty crazy and next level, and that's what I like. That's what kind of fuels me sometimes to get out up here and do these videos. Is like, we've built up energy, and whether I'm angry at work or about stuff going on during the week at work, and I'm just, I need to get that energy out, because I can't take it out at work on the people. I can't take it out on me. I can't show that frustration in any way. I got to be cool, calm, collected, when I'm in the moment. But that energy's built up, and I'm off to the races when I put it towards something else, and I have that intensity, and I can use it to be productive. It kind of killing two birds in one stone, right? Especially if you put it towards working out instead. You can put it towards working out, boxing, running, doing a hobby, right? That way you're killing two birds with one stone, especially working out. You're getting into shape, and you're releasing that anger and that rage. Same thing if you're with the reading. You're getting into shape. I mean, not getting into shape. You're getting your brain into shape. Excuse me, and you're mentally stronger. You're growing your brain, and you're learning more. But at the same time, controlling that anger, refocusing that energy, that anger, that rage-filled energy into something else. Number 6. Now, this sixth thing is, call that person that knows you and knows how to bring you back down to earth, to take you from that rage, that center of rage, that all-encompassing feeling, to, hey, listen, here's what's really going on. Here's what I think you should do. You're not yourself right now. You should go do this. In the meantime, have you ever maybe thought about it this way? It's definitely always good to phone a friend, to phone a family member, somebody who is going to bring you back down to down to earth. Not really, not tell you what you want to hear, but bring you back down to a level thinking ground, and again, alleviate that rage, alleviate that pressure, and switch your mentality and your emotions and your mindset. Number 7 is stopping to count to 10 or to 30. Now, I was in the field once and doing a field problem back in, I want to say this was 2016, and it was early in the morning, pitch black, couldn't see anything outside. We were setting up as part of like an advanced party team, which means you go out and you gather what you need, and you go out and you set up your equipment for your team to come in and occupy that space for the training. So we would go earlier than the rest of the team. And there was a little group of us that would go out there and do this. And the NCO, I remember he was usually so aggressive, and this was out of character for me when this happened. So I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. Of all people, that this guy's having me do this. So we get there, we start setting up in one spot, and then he comes up to us, tells us, hey, this isn't the spot we're going to be in. Pick up everything that you just did, put it back together quickly. We're going to move over here, down here. So I'm doing that. And in the process, because I'm so caught up in the moment, I'm just focused on just like getting the equipment back up and bringing it down to the other spot. And again, it's pitch black. Tired, maybe only got a couple hours of sleep. And then we get there, we set everything up, and I notice I don't have my weapon, which in the military, for those of you, if you know, you know, if you don't know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You lose your weapon, you leave your weapon, you can't find it. That's huge, huge no-no in the military. And so I'm freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what my weapon is. I don't know what's going to happen as a result, as a consequence. As if they're going to beat me up or like kill me or something, you know? But I'm starting to freak out. I'm starting to have a panic attack. At the time, I didn't know what the hell was what I was. I just knew that I was getting really super anxious and nervous and was scared of what was going to happen next. And so that NCO that brought us out there initially, though, he pulls around and he's like, "Are you all right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What are you doing over here?" Because I had walked back to where was at previously to look for the weapon because I had left it behind. And I said, the last place I know I had it was over here. So I had no choice. I gotta let the guy know. I said, "Listen, I lost my weapon. I can't find it. It's still pitch black. It's 5 a.m. And he's like, seriously? But I'm starting to freak out, you know. And he sees that and he says, okay. He says, I want you to stop. He's like, I want you to count to 10. And I started counting. I started counting fast. And he was like, no. He said, slow down. He said, 1. And I said, you know, I counted with him. You know, he had me count with him. And it slowly, 2, 3, 4, and counted all the way to 10. And he's like, breathe, take a second. He's like, you feel better? I was like, yeah. I was like, all right, you know, which again, I didn't expect that from him. He usually was the one that was always berating me when we would go out and do these setups. So it was kind of crazy to he of all people. But I think in that moment, he switched from NCO to, you know, genuine human being and actually caring. And it was good to have that moment. But again, it does work. Counting, stopping for a second, but you have to remind yourself to do it. It has to, all these things, they have to kind of become, you have to work on them and you have to put them into your memory bank, and into your toolkit so that you could, you know, you out of muscle memory, remember to do them more often. It's a learning process. It's not going to happen overnight, but once you start implementing them and then you start becoming more consistent, you'll start seeing a better pattern and wave of momentum of where you're just feeling more positive. You're not freaking out and having as much episodes because you're able to stop, calm down, and use one of these tools to continue moving. So those are 7, like I said, 7 steps that I believe will help with rage, right? I have some don'ts here that you definitely don't want to do. Number 1 is do not listen to music, which I just talked about a second ago, that is aggressive or rage-filled, as it will only fuel your own feelings of rage. Now there is that mix kind of in between of there's like that sweet spot of you can listen to that music if it's something that's been making you feel better for years, and it's kind of if it has become your way of taking the rage and bringing it down. But if you notice that that music keeps you with such a vibration of just negativity, and you're just stewing in that, that's not good, and you should probably still not listen to it and try to switch it up, because you're kind of still going to be replaying the negativity, you know. And it's not healthy. Number two, if the rage is due to a relationship or maybe a disagreement with another person, separate yourself from that person and the situation and the environment entirely. Get a few seconds to regroup, get away from it. If it's a group of people, just completely break away from it. Put yourself in a completely different environment. Staying in that environment or around those people will only just lead you to fester in that rage, and it's not a place you want to be, because then you're going to direct that towards them. There's a chance of directing it towards them, which is something you don't want. You might end up doing things that you're going to regret, and you don't want that either, because there's consequences to all our decisions and our actions that we have to deal with later on. So if you act out of a fit of rage, you can't take back what you're doing, you know, and you can't just blame it on your rage later, because people aren't gonna, like, again, there's consequences, and we're not entitled to anything in this world. So again, rather than allowing that rage to further fester and putting it towards them or whoever the person or the people are, and increasing that likelihood of you lashing out and doing something you may regret, just take a second, pull yourself out of the environment, pull yourself out of just go on a walk if you have to. Put yourself in a completely different zone where it's just you. Number three, watching any videos that play up violence or rage. Do not watch any videos that are going to play into or feed that rage that's already festering, right? Because it's going to put more scenarios in your head. It's going to have you thinking all sorts of screwed up, and it's going to, again, keep you stuck in that rage rather than pulling you out of it. And again, it's not where you want to be. That's for sure. Another thing that I want to talk about actually doing is taking time to watch a podcast or a YouTube channel such as this one that forces you to take a step back and think and reanalyze. And also reading material that also does the same, whether online or a physical copy, that really changes up the how you're thinking. It makes you think. Take up, like I said, MMA, boxing, something where you can take that aggression out. A lot of the time we have to look inwards as well, to look at our, just to look and decide, are we angry for an actual reason? Are we angry just to be angry? Are we angry out of pride to prove a point? Or are we angry at ourselves because we tend to, as humans, project our own insecurities onto other people. And I've done this quite a lot over the years, and I'm sad and I'm ashamed to say that I've done that, but this channel is about being transparent, so I'm going to be transparent with you guys watching. Especially if you've made it this far, you deserve a little transparency. Especially in relationships that I've had, like intimate relationships with significant others, I've tend to have taken on the more project my insecurities onto them role, and it's just not good. It leads to a lot of things. It leads to lack of trust. It leads to resentment. It leads to arguments that over nothing that shouldn't be. It leads to it leads to fights. It leads to a huge toxicity, and it's not good for anybody. Not good for your mental health. It's not good for your physical health, and it's not fair to project those insecurities on other people. That's why I say to self-reflect and to take a second to step back, because you got to look at it, the bigger picture. You got to look at it. It's not just you that you're affecting. It's not just your life. It's other people's lives. It's much more than just you. It can trickle down like a domino effect and affect so many other people. That's why it's important to get this rage under control. Like I said, if you feel like you're about to snap, go to one of these things. Go scream, like I said earlier, scream, read, listen to music, work out, go on a walk, go on a run, watch a movie, do something peaceful, write down what you're feeling in a journal, write a short story, maybe create a podcast of your own, create a YouTube channel, start using that turn that rage into you can turn it into something positive. I've done it so many times with my podcast, with the YouTube channel, with even with my social media. Just there's other formats out there, there's other outlets that you can use so that rage just, again, therapy is another thing too. Sometimes it's hard because we build up a lot of pride over time as you get older and you experience so many things and you get frustrated and you kind of, oh, it's not therapy. Oh, people, I've been there. How many times? So many times I've had people just recommend therapy like it's a fix all and all be all. And when you're in the moment, you don't want to hear it, right? But when you have a time to step back and take a look at it, yeah, it does help. It really does help a lot because it's another form of really breaking things down or reanalyzing them and making sense of things. And you're in a more calm state, so you're able to think more logically. So and you have somebody else that's unbiased, that's not involved in anything that you got going on, so that they can give you the truth, give you the skinny, and tell you like it is, and give you some good constructive criticism that's needed to help fix what's going on, to ask questions that make you delve deeper into yourself, and so that you learn more about yourself and learn maybe why you're doing some of the things you're doing and why you have so much rage. So definitely therapy is huge. It's a big thing. I suggest BetterHelp. I suggest just looking for, if you have any type of insurance through work, look for in-network, something in network that will, so you'll be able to talk to somebody at least. Definitely positive affirmations. Just want to give you a couple things before I go. Positive affirmations. Perhaps scripture, and again, talking to other people, because I think that really does help. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. This was, again, tips for turning rage into peace. That being said, before I forget, meditation is another really good thing that I think should be utilized. Just to take a second and again, tune everything out for just 1 second. Tune everything out and refocus, recenter in the moment, and bring a sense of calm and zen back into your world. Even if you do a few minutes a day, it will help in the long run. Any of these things, you do them a few times in a day or once a day or a couple times a week, over time it will really help. And then you get a routine down that's good for you. And when these things are second nature for you, you're gonna notice that you have less moments where you're overreacting to situations where that rage is coming out, and instead you'll have more moments of peace. And it's what we all want, right? We want peace, drama, stress-free life. So if you guys listen, you watched, you liked, you made it this far, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe button. Again, I'm looking for 100 followers, 100 subscribers in by the end of next month, by the end of December. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of the week. I got more stuff coming at you. I got an episode on depersonalization for Always on the Move. I also have another podcast in the works about growing up and what it means to be an adult. I do have a guest coming in on that one. So Again, we're hashing out the details, but everything, like I said, is in the works. I did have to take a little break because I got a little bit lost, a little sick, and with Thanksgiving and everything going on, there was other stuff going on as well. So, taking care of that other stuff and now getting it out of the way. Now I'm back focused on the channel, focused on what we got going on here with Always on the Move and Inspire for Real. Inspire for Real. Stay on the move. My dudes and dudettes, I'll catch you on the next episode. Again, stay tuned. Keep it locked for that depersonalization episode. Like, follow, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.